Hey, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you're all doing well. I don't know if one of your PSJA folks will be on here to do introduction. Otherwise, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. And it looks like cameras are off, which are fine for you all. Hope you're doing well this Friday, beautiful Friday morning. Uh, it's just beautiful inside, indoors. If you would let me know if you're able to in the chat, just let me know. Say hello. Maybe what grade you teach. Awesome. And it looks like you have a registration link there. If you have not already done so, Melissa, thanks so much for sharing. Awesome. Well, we got 12th grade, 10th grade. That's a new term I've heard this year, RLA. I've just recent reading language arts. I believe that's what it is. That's like the new, I don't remember that last year, but I'm seeing that a lot more this year, which is getting used to some of the new acronyms. Right. Got a couple of screens, multiple screens here that I am juggling back and forth between. So if you just bear with me, let me go ahead and start sharing a screen here. And I'm actually going to drop in the chat if you would do me a huge favor while we're waiting for folks to join. I dropped in a link there in the chat. That is just a sign-in form. That's for my records, and yeah, you have a separate one for your district. But if you don't mind clicking on that link there, it'll open up to a registration page that's specific for you all for PSJA. That would be wonderful. That would be greatly appreciated. And click on share my screen here. Let's go with this screen, and you should be seeing, it should look something like that right there. And while we're getting signed in here with that form, if at any time during today's session, please do drop any question you'll have in the chat. Please don't hesitate to ask away. I want to make sure that we're all understanding what we're doing. And if we get stuck, we want to make sure that we get you unstuck. So that would be wonderful. It would be great. And then you're in for the session for the getting started with Adobe Express. So if you're going to be with me at any of the other times, then I'd be glad to have you as well. We'll be repeating this session at 12:45, and then the generative AI is at 10:40 and at 2 p.m. today. So uh, feel free to hop on at any of those other times. After you do fill this out, there might be a registration. They'll give you like a confirmation number. You might want to save that. I've noticed if you happen to join later. So again, click on that link inside the chat there. That will take you to this form, and try to make it as painless as possible, and then just hit next and register, and we're good to go. So we move that out of the way here, and we are going to be talking about introduction to Adobe Express. And we'll say hello to all there. My name is Claudio Svalgier. I'm one of the education evangelists at Adobe, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all. Today, I'll be doing, again, as I mentioned, 4 different sessions. Let me mute my phone here, mute my other laptop here, got multiple devices. There we go. And excited. And we're going to be diving into Adobe Express. So first, before we dive into Adobe Express, I want to make sure you all can access Adobe Express. And I believe you all have some sort, either use ClassLink or Clever to log in, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe you do it through Google. If anyone on the team is on the chat here, please let us know if that's the right way to log in to Adobe Express. And once you're logged into Adobe Express, your window should look like this here. Let me go ahead. You'll see a window that looks like that. So once you log into Adobe Express, you're going to see the landing page that looks like this. And if you see that, then you're in the right place. And if you're there, give me a thumbs up, or in the chat, let me know you're ready, that you're logged in. Either a thumbs up or give me a good to go, or I'm logged in. And some of you may still be doing that other registration form. Perfect. Use your PSJA credentials to log in. Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. We'll make sure I get everybody logged in before we get started, so nobody gets left behind. We don't want anyone left behind. Dulce, where do you find Adobe Express? Melissa, do you all access through just going through the site, or do you have a button like a dashboard for teachers?
They can just do a Google search for it.
Okay, so you all just go, here, let me do this then. You should be able to do it. So you just go through the main login?
Mhm.
Okay, it'll look like this right here. Let me copy this link for you all. Yeah, so right here, if you click on that link right there, I just dropped it into the chat. That will get you into the login screen. And Melissa, do you all use Google to sign in, or you just enter into the address? And I'm asking you, Melissa, so far because they've been helpful so
Yes.
much. Okay, perfect.
It's their Google is their PSJ credentials.
Perfect. Okay.
So it'll get them in.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you click that link that I just dropped right there, it'll bring you to a window like this, and you can just log in with your Google credentials from this point. And if you've never logged in before, the very first time, you may be greeted with a message that says, welcome. And on the bottom right corner, it'll say something like next or continue. And you just want to make sure and select I am an educator. And then it'll say, let's go. And then you'll be on this window right here. So hopefully we're getting everybody logged in here. And then once you're logged in, just let me know in the chat, say you're ready to go. Awesome, Gabriel. Perfect. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but once you do it the very first time, you should be good to go. Except we're getting folks logged in now. Excellent. Great. So again, it's going to look like this right here. Awesome. All right. We've got most of the folks getting logged in. So while we're getting the rest of you all logged in, I'll go ahead and do my little, I think I started the introduction here and kind of stopped. But again, I'm Claudio again. I'm with the education team at Adobe, and I've been with them now for 2.5 years. and I'm based in the DFW area. So right now I'm in my office here at home. And prior to being at Adobe, I worked 25 years in public education in California, and then here in Texas, maybe half and half of those 25 years in the classroom. And then I also did district work as a coordinator of technology, tech coach, digital designer, and other duties as assigned. I'm excited because I still get to work with students and educators like yourselves and share about Adobe Express. And I support the central region of US, all of Texas, all the way up to Wisconsin, which I was in Wisconsin earlier this week working with teachers there. And so it was exciting to be able to just kind of go all across and help teachers and students. And we're going to be talking about Adobe Express, and we're going to skip a few things here. Um, Hopefully, we're going to do a little test right here. And tell me, I'm going to play this little video, and you let me know if you can hear the audio.
The way we see it, creativity lives.
So I'll do a pause. Were you able to hear the audio? Give me
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The way we see it, creativity lives not only in the idea, but also in the ways you find to express that idea. Because a good idea deserves to be shared with the world in whichever media will make the most impact, whether it's a video, a website, posters, flyers, t-shirts, an app, a social media campaign. Whatever it takes to prove your point, get people on board, get people to say, let's make it, get your foot in the door. We believe that when students learn to express themselves in any medium, they'll find their voice. They'll find new ways to make an impact in school and beyond. They'll be the ones with the answers for, how do we make this work better? How do we make it stronger? How do we make it simpler? The students of today are the ones with the new ideas for whatever challenges come next. So let's give them a chance to create a better world.
Awesome. So really helping students about creativity, and that the goal at Adobe is to help students continue to grow their skills in creativity, but really to become lifelong creators. And so that Adobe is committed to providing Adobe Express for students, and all for free, no cost to educators or to students. So what we're going to do in this session, probably less than 60 minutes now, is we're going to dive into digital creativity, digital creation using Adobe Express. And also at the end, we're going to invite you to join our Adobe Creative Educator community. And so first off, you think about your students as you start this school year. And you feel free to drop this into the chat. If you think about this may be a deep question at the start of a Friday morning. It's, what is your biggest hope for your students? And I know that video kind of talked about a little bit about, students telling their stories and really empowering them. But for yourself, like, what do you hope for your students this year, the students that you'll get? And this is a little picture of a young little student here, but think about your class. And I did see that, like, there's 11th, there's 10th grade, 12th grade, a mixture of grades. I love that. Becoming independent learners. Yeah, I love that. I taught third, fourth, and fifth grade, and the fifth graders are a little more independent than the younger ones. But it is really empowering them to be able to be those types of independent learners and give them those skills to be able to do that. Thank you for sharing that, Amelia. Anyone else want to share biggest hope for your students this coming school year? And being comfortable with multimodal methods of writing. Awesome. Yeah. And Salvador, hopefully, like, a tool like Adobe Express can help with some of that, taking some of their writing and then taking what they've written and putting it in a digital form, like a story. And so hopefully Adobe Express can help with that as being another method for a type of writing. Awesome. I love that. And feel free to continue dropping in your hopes for your students as you start to think about it. Feel free to drop into the chat. And a couple of things in regards to creativity, and we always love putting this stat here or sharing this. So in 2021, LinkedIn had a study in regards to creativity in the workplace and the power of, just say, the need of creativity, but also the impact it has. And I know, like, especially for students that are older and getting ready to go to college, like an incentive, I want to be able to have a job that can pay well. And so in this study, students or college graduates that had those creative skills, that developed those creative skills and nurtured them, saw 2 to 3 times higher salaries for those college graduates. So students that have those skills, like, made a little more money. So, maybe if that's an incentive for students to stay, you might want to develop some of those creative skills, not necessarily creating like digitally, like actually like photography or fine arts, but having that creative mindset. So I saw a lot more salary increases. Employers look for those skills, 85% of them. And then educators and policymakers saw that, or agreed that, creative problem solving is critical for future career successes. So just things to keep in mind. And as some of you all put, like, becoming independent learners, being able to critically think and problem solve, definitely heading in that direction. As I mentioned, Adobe Express is free. You all have access to it. It's 100% free. You can use a Chromebook, you can use a MacBook, you can use a Windows machine, a desktop. And yesterday we released the iPad. We were like excited. Finally, the iPad version of Adobe Express was released. And so we're excited. So you can start a project on one device and finish it on another device. We've already talked about logging in for Adobe Express. So now we're going to dive into a project here. And so for this project, let me go ahead and get the link for you all. Actually, we don't need a link. I'm going to show you where you can find this project. So let me go ahead and let me exit out of this right here. And we're going to go back to the screen, this one right here. So we're going to kind of dive in this together. So this, as I mentioned, is the home screen of Adobe Express. So when you log in, when your students log in, this is what they'll see. And we are going to work on a project that we call this the About Me project. It's a great way to start the school year. It's a great way to get to know your students. Also, maybe a way for you all to get to know each other. So we're going to do the About Me project, and it's a light version. It's a student version. So from the home screen right here, and hopefully, if you have two screens, nice, it'll help out. But if you just have one, you're just listening to me, which is just fine. So here it says, "Hi, Claudio, create beautiful images." And we have all these prompts here at the top. I'm actually going to scroll down. So if you follow with me, scroll down on your screen. And we're going to head to this section here that is called Getting Started with Guided Activities. So you'll see this section here. And right now, I believe we have 18 different guided activities. Right now, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you click on this white arrow on the far right, you'll scroll through and see additional 6, and then scroll again. Yeah, we do have 18. I can do the math this morning. So we have the 18. So make sure you scroll, and I want you to find this one right here. It says learn to make an all about me graphic. So what I want you to do is click on that button, and it's going to open up the project in your account. So this is now your project. What we've done is click basically a template, and it opened up in your account and made a copy. Now it is saved in your account. Now, before we dive in and make any edits to the project, first things first, and this is very important as a best practice in Adobe Express for your students. I get excited and I start creating right away. And I always forget that this first step is up on the top left corner that you see. There's the logo. I'm going to wiggle my cursor. So right on the top left corner, there's the logo. And next to it, it says Untitled. August 9th, and then 9:49 a.m. We're going to click in there. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to call this About Claudio. You can name it whatever you want. Since this is an About Me project, I'm going to call it About Claudio. Oh, it looks like I already have another project called About Claudio. So let me go About Claudio Part 2. There we go. And at the bottom, you see a little confirmation box. So go ahead and rename the project. Take a few seconds to do that. Again, it's on the top left corner of your screen in the black bar right up here. And it is being saved in the cloud, automatically saving for you. So there's no need for you uh, find a file menu and save. It automatically does it for you. This is wonderful. And then what we're going to do after you name the project, oh, Oscar, so what you're going to do is you're going to click from the home. Let me go back to Adobe Express Home here. Oh, the wrong one. You're going to scroll down to the section where it says guided activities right here. And in this section to your right, look for this little white arrow right over here and click through until you see About Me, and then click that one. And that's going to bring you into this project. All right, so now that we have this project, we have it named. I want to show you or highlight this feature. This is brand new in Adobe Express in the guided activities. On the far right of your screen, you'll see the same picture of Adrian with this little box with a play button. This right here is basically it's a virtual teacher that can walk your students through this project. So let me click on play.
In this class project, you will create a graphic to share your creative identity. You will learn to edit photos.
So I'm not going to keep playing it because it's about a minute and a half. But basically what this little play button does, it gives you a preview of what this project is. And then you're like, okay, I want to try this. And then what you'll do as a student or yourself, you'll click on Get Started. And then you'll see this, again, this is called Learn. We call this the Learn panel. And it's going to say step 1, click on the picture. Step 2, step 3, and then next. And it's going to say step 4 and step 5. So your students can actually walk through this on their own, or you can do it as a class together and follow those steps. I'm going to click that X on the top right corner because we're going to do this together. So we're not going to use that guide. We're going to close this out. And when you do that, you might see a little pop-up message right around here that's basically saying if you get stuck or if you forget, click on the Learn button, and which is the light bulb. That'll bring this back. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And over on the left, I'm going to close that as well. Yes, Amelia, you're able to create a template for students. What I would say, because this is already made for you, when students click it, they're clicking on a template that's already made. So you don't have to make a template because this one's already done. So you can just let students know, go to the guided section, or maybe give them a little instruction when you log in, scroll down to the guided sections and go to About Me. But I'm going to show you how to create a template. So I'm going to do that as well. So great question, Amelia. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to change out the picture. This is a great picture. I mean, I wish I had that hair, Adrian's hair right there. Mine's not that long yet. I'm going to click on Adrian's picture. We're going to change this first. So click on Adrian. And when you click on a picture, in this case, Adrian, I want you to look on the left-hand column. You'll see a menu bar here that is labeled image. And I'm going to wiggle my cursor right over here. And you see there's a tiny little thumbnail of Adrian. And then we're gonna go across the ocean to the other side. We have these little stacks of squares. These are your layers. So your layers right here, you're gonna see right here, there is a picture of Adrian as well. So on either place, we're able to find what we're actually going to edit. And what we're going to do for Adrian, I'm sorry, Adrian, but we're going to delete Adrian. And there's two ways to delete. You could either use delete on your keyboard, or right above Adrian's hair, you see this little menu button. there's a little trash can, and we're gonna boop the Adrian. Sorry, we had to delete Adrian because this is about Claudio. This is not about Adrian. So I'm gonna make this about myself. So we're all going to do the same thing. We're gonna make this about ourselves. Now, if you do not have a picture of yourself, don't fret because we'll be able to use a stock photo and you could always come back later and change it. So let's do that first. We're going to add our own photo. So please head on over to the far left. Now we're going to cross the ocean. It's the first day I used it. So we're going to cross the ocean. We're going to cross the ocean and go to the left. And we have these menu buttons here. We're going to click on media. And within media, we have photos, excuse me, we have videos, and then we have audio. If I click through, you'll see there's stock photos, stock video, and there's stock music. I'm going to pause for a quick second just to explain about all that there. Because you're in the Adobe Express K-12 kind of umbrella, you and your students have access to thousands of photos that are Creative Commons, royalty free, meaning that if you create a project with the photo and share it, you're not going to get a copyright strike. Same thing with the videos. There's stock videos. If your students use a video and let's say they create a video and share it like on a film festival and they win, they won't get a copyright strike because they created it in Adobe Express and also with the soundtrack. So you have access. Also, because we're in the K-12 environment, we have guardrails. And so these images are filtered. So your students won't see certain images if they should not appear. In any instance, if it does, it is something that we have to flag. And usually we have teachers notify us. I have not had that issue come up. So we're knocking on wood that it keeps that way, but yet they are filtered. So in case, just kind of FYI to let you know. Now, let's go ahead and find a picture. If you do have a picture of yourself, you're going to upload from device and locate the picture on your computer. So go ahead and do that. If you do not have a picture of yourself, where it says search photos, you can type in teacher. And for now, you can just use a stock picture of one of the teachers here. If female teacher, male teacher, you can go ahead and do that. Can students use now? Yes, as long as you have like permission to use the image, Amelia. So again, it always goes back to copyright. So if they have the rights to the image, by all means. Okay, I'm going to upload from my device. So go ahead and find a picture of a teacher or one on your device. And I have one of myself here. So let's go ahead and find that one. Today I'm going to use, where are you? Okay, we're going to go with this one right here. And here's my picture. Silly picture. This is here in my office right here. I have drums in my office. I have cameras and stuff. So this is my picture. So go ahead and find a picture, drop it in. And once, before I say the next thing, if you're still looking for a picture that's in the stock photos, just try to find one. Again, you can change it later. This is a good tip for you all to share with students because students will find thousands of pictures and they can spend 15 minutes looking for one picture. I would say, let students know, if you don't have your own picture, use a stock photo, but don't spend more than 15 seconds finding a photo. Find one within 15 seconds. If you don't like it, you could always change it later. Otherwise, they'll stay stuck for 15 minutes trying to find the right photo. All right. With the photo, if you notice, my photo looks a little bit different than Adrian's. Adrian's was nice. It was outlined just nice. And I want mine to be cut out. I don't want that green background in my photo. So what I'm going to do, make sure you have your photo selected. And again, how do I know I have my photo selected? I've got 3 ways to know. First off, around my photo, there's this blue outline. That's called a bounding box. You don't have to remember that, just letting you know. Also on the far right, remember, we're going across the ocean over here. You see the little box up here on the top right? I've got my picture with an outline, and then crossing the ocean to the other side over here, it says image, and I see there's this. So that's an indicator to know that I'm in the right spot. Right below my thumbnail, you see a picture of Fido, a little dog right there. Click on remove background. And like that, magic. Adobe Express, the AI auto magically removes the background for you. And that's, so let me show you. I'm going to click up here on the top menu. There's an undo. Okay, there's my background. I use the magic of AI to remove the background. So hopefully that, I can't see your reactions, which is okay. Hopefully you went, hopefully that was a mind blow for many of you. And this feature, or I say this, to do this, normally we'd use something like Adobe Photoshop, which is not a free tool. You have to pay for it. But in Photoshop, it takes about 6 steps to do what we just did in, well, 2 steps. Upload the image and then remove background. That's it. Yes, very easy. And I agree. It's even after using it for so many times, I think it's still amazing. And so one thing about the removing background is for many, many, many years, people would take a picture with a green screen behind themselves. You don't have to do that anymore. The technology has got so great and so advanced that you don't have to have a picture in front of a green screen. The AI does a great job now of removing background without a green screen. Can you still use a green screen? Yeah. But then you always have to worry about lighting. But if you take pictures of your students at the beginning of the year, my wife teaches kinder. She takes pictures at the start of the year and then at the end of the year, like, hey, look how much you grew. And so she uses a blank wall on her classroom and takes a picture. That's a great way to do it too, just like a plain background. So that will help. Okay, so we've got our picture in here. So now our next step is right here. Says when he isn't at school, he is skateboarding. I do not skateboard. I tried when I was young. I could never get the hang of it. So I went and did bicycling. I enjoy biking, so that's what I do. So if you click on the up here on the top left, I'm sorry, in the top right, the little like skateboarder right there, I'm going to delete that. Unless you're a skateboarder, leave it. That's fine. And then over on we're going to go to the left corner over here where this says favorite food. You have ice cream. If you love ice cream, go ahead and leave it. For myself, I like ice cream, but it's not my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And so now I'm going to go find a favorite food. And I'm going to go find something that I do when I'm not teaching or when I'm not at school. So I want you to go to the left of your screen, the menu over here. This is our menu bar, our main menu bar, and go down to elements right over here on the left. And I apologize when when I don't look at the screen or at the camera, it's because I'm looking at my screen. So on the left, click on elements, and you're going to see we have what are called design assets. These are illustrations, artwork that have been created and designed, and they're available for you to use. We have backgrounds that will automatically be added to the background. And then we have shapes. Shapes are circles, squares, triangles. So if you're doing like some math type lessons, you can do that. And then there's also speech bubbles, thought bubbles, all types of shapes that you can think of. We have icons, and then we have charts. Charts is a new feature. Basically, you can input data and they create charts for you. It's really cool. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go over that. I want you to, right here where it says icons, click on view all. It's going to show you all the icons. And all of these icons are available for you to use freely. These are also copyright free, or you have license to use. So go ahead and find your favorite food. I've been talking about this favorite food for weeks, and I actually have not gone to go eat it. I may do that today. Pizza, my favorite foods. You know, In here in Texas, you know, we pretty much just, it's not like the best pizza in the world. I mean, and you can probably find some good ones. I love New York. I've had New York style pizza. I've had Chicago style pizza, Detroit style pizza, which is kind of like, uh, they're all good. But you know what? Sometimes like I just love pizza. I'll eat it from anywhere. Like even CC's Pizza. Okay. They're not paying me for to say that. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through. Also, here, if you notice, there's 505 results for pizza. Your students can sit here for minutes looking for the right picture of pizza or the right icon. Just let them know. Pick one, 15 seconds. You can always change it later. And I'm going to click on this one right here. And all you do is, if you find the icon that you like, click on it. And then I've got like a pizza face right now. So that the image of the pizza loads up on front. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and first off, the color of the pizza is black, and we can't change it to brown and then the cheese color and pepperoni. It's basically icons is one color. So over there on the far left, you see the little icon and then fill. I'm gonna change this to white. And then now I'm gonna move the pizza off of my face, and you know, it's too big. What I do is grab one of those corners and we're going to resize it. Before I do that, I also want to show you with it selected at the bottom of a shape, icon, or text, you're going to see this little circle. This is basically lets you rotate. So I'm going to rotate a little bit, resize it, and then have it fit. There we go. Perfect. All right. I like that. That's amore. There we go. Give you a little song there. I'm going to go back to elements on the left and pizzas there. Now, what do I do when I'm not at school? One of the things I do is I mountain bike. I'm going to type in mountain bike. Oh, very cool. Let's see. And because I like mountain biking, like I'm gonna be scroll through, but Claudio, you gotta follow your own advice. Pick one. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one right here. Bam. And then here he is. The bike is in front of my face. I'm just gonna move it over here. Again, change the color to white. And then we're gonna change or resize it. Perfect. Look at that. I love it. Look at that. That's very cool. That's a nice little icon. That's the first time I actually used that one. So hopefully you were able to change your favorite food and what you do when you're not at school. I'm curious to know, what are some of your favorite foods? Drop them in the chat there. What are some of your favorite foods? And also, what do you do when you're not at school? Seafood. Ooh, I love, I guess it is seafood, but I love fish tacos. I grew up in California, right by Baja California, and some of the best fish tacos are in that area. Fish tacos, seafood. So we got seafood as a favorite food. Burgers, you know, you can't go wrong with a hamburger. I love hamburgers too as well. Fast food, and then like if you go to your gourmet hamburgers, that's a good. It's 10 o'clock and I'm already getting hungry here. So when you're not at school, besides being asleep, because I think everybody loves to sleep, what do you do when you're not teaching? What are somebody like? So we got seafood, burgers as some of our favorite foods. What do you all like to when you're not at school? What do you like to do? Read books. I guess this is the shy group, or it's too early. Getting it back into the groove of school. So I'll give you a little bit of time there to catch up. If you're already asleep, Jim, yeah, Jim's a good thing. I've been trying to, we are doing, our team at Adobe, the education team, we just started a kind of a wellness little activity for all of us. And that is, we're doing a fitness challenge where just to be active, and then the team with the most fitness goals is going to, I guess, get bragging rights or something. But anyways, yeah, TV. Yeah, but watching. I love some streaming. You know, Netflix, uh, Netflix, Peacock or Disney. Awesome. Okay, so are we ready to move on? Give me a thumbs up if we're ready to move on, or say yes in the chat. We're ready to go to our next step because we've changed our picture, we've changed our favorite foods, and so we're gonna think what are we doing next? And so if you see all around, we have loves playing guitar, favorite subject is math, and who is Adrian? You might have already gone ahead and started changing them, which is absolutely okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at these little boxes of text. Now, the one that says when he isn't at school, you can leave that, or you can change it to when she isn't at school. So how do you fix the text? Is when you click on the box, it's basically a text box. And again, we're going to look at the far left. Notice the menu changed to text. In this menu, I'm going to wiggle my cursor here. Right, this section is you can change the type of font. If you don't like what you see, you can make it bold, not bold, italicize, underline. So you can do all these things right here. We have what we call these text layout. You can change the way the text looks like and make it dynamic, default, and then change the colors. And then if you want to change, my favorite subject is math. Maybe yours is math. You're going to leave it. If it's not, you're going to click once and then click again. And then now you can change it. My favorite subject, well, I was good at math. I love photography. That's like my favorite subject is photography. And I'm going to go ahead and readjust this. So go ahead and go through and start making those changes to those text boxes. So we got our favorite subject when he or she isn't at school. If you love to play the guitar, then you're set. I'm going to change this from I love playing drums, or you can change it entirely. It doesn't have to be I love playing something. You can say I love to read books. I love to cook. I actually I enjoy cooking. It's been something that I've been you know doing a lot more. It's relaxing and it's kind of peaceful. So, and then I love to eat. Over here at the bottom where it says who is Adrian, just click in there and change that to your name. Oop, let's go caps. And if yours has this, like who is Claudia, see how it shifted to the next line? You can just grab this box, this bar, move it over and stretch out the box, and then we can resize. So go ahead and take a few minutes to go around and change the text. Let's see if I can play a little music here while we do that and give you about a minute, couple minutes, or a few bars of music to play. Let's see. I don't know if this will go through or not, but we'll find out. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate, drop it in the chat. Real question. Sorry, let me go ahead. Let me turn this down. Can you change the size of the bubble? Oscar, when you say bubble, you're talking about the bubble around the favorite food. Okay, so yeah, so what you'll do is you'll click on, so I'm moving my cursor right here, right behind. If I click see how it highlights? It kind of gives me a preview. If I click on it, then I can go ahead and just grab it and make it bigger. How do you freeze the text and shape to move together? Ooh, great question. Oh, yeah, I love it. Love it. Okay. So, Dulce, what you'll do is if, for example, like over here where it says love playing drums, and then the box right here, they're separate. So here's what you'll do. Is what you'll want to do is click on, actually, I'm going to do this one over here with the favorite food. So I'm going to move my cursor and then see how it highlights the circle. I'm going to click on it. And then here's the key. Hold your shift button down and then now click on the food and then click on the word. And then what happens is you see right there, right above it, it says group right here. It's telling me that these are grouped. It's temporary. But once I click on group, now they all move together. Thanks for asking. That was a great question. Amelia, I see your hand up. Question.
I just wanted to say my chat is not working. I can hear you clearly and everything, but my chat is obsolete right now. It's
Okay.
not even letting me see the others type out their questions or anything.
Okay. No, there's no worries. If you have any questions, just feel free to just raise your hand there. And then you have a question or about something?
No, I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank
No,
you.
you're welcome. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and so hopefully you were able to now change some of the text and make it reflect who you are. So we're pretty much at this stage of the project. So when your students do the guided activity, this is pretty much how they'll finish it up. So I'm going to show you like, let me see. I'm going to click on the Learn tab really quick. I just want to see what the Learn tab says to do. Let's see, next. Nope, that's it. That's all they did. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you like a little extra flavor here, a little extra tip that's not in the guided activity. So right now we have the project is kind of red, blue, and it's got like a little baby blue background. So I'm going to share a little trick. I call this a color hack. First off, let me close on the left of your menu. Let's close that out so we can see our entire canvas right here. At the very top of the menu bar, there's the black menu bar, and then underneath is this little white one. It says resize, and then next to resize right here it says change theme, or actually it just says theme, and then right the little pop-up says change theme. I want you to click on that right there, and I'm going to X that out. And what you'll see are all these palettes of colors. These are all automatically generated. The AI will create these and basically say that these colors go well together. And you'll see the categories. There's professional, pastel, color pop, modern, retro. And then it only gives you about 3 previews. If you want to see more, click on view all. And you can see all these wonderful colors. I like retro colors. I grew up in the 80s, and that's considered like retro now. So I'm going to go through. Ooh, I like this one right here. So pick a color. Again, your students will sit here for 15 minutes trying to find a color. I would say let them know, pick a color. You could always change it later. And then look what happens when I pick a color. 3, 2, 1, bam. Look at that. The project changes entirely. The red and blue, I don't know. But so here's what I'm going to do. Once I pick a color, or once you pick a color, scroll up. So you can see I'm scrolling up. And right here it says, this is my current page theme. And then right here, there's a little button that says shuffle. You can shuffle through. And it's like, that's not too bad. And it'll just shuffle through until, so what it's doing is going through all those colors and going through and just making different combinations. I like everything here except the favorite heart. Yeah, like this red just is hard to read. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to click undo. Okay, I like this where it's at. Now, over here on the bottom, the reason that this little banner or badge does not change color is because that is not a shape or a text. That is an actual image. So you see right here. So that won't change. So just wanted you to let you know. So when you're changing colors, it will only change the color of the background, text, icons, shapes. And so let me go back to theme. So I like everything. And if I want to, I could always just delete that and just put who is Claudio here. And so now up here where it says favorite subject, it's a red heart and it's that red text, but it's kind of hard to read. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to change the color of the text. So I'm going to click on the text and then see over here on the left, it has fill. Let's see. That's better. Yeah, that's easier to read. Okay. So that's what I call the color hack. And all right, we are jamming. We are rolling. I think pretty much we are done with the project. So we have one more thing. And I know from earlier there was a question regarding how do I make something and let students share. So we're gonna get to that spot right here. I'm gonna close that out. Now I'm just looking at my project, and the next step is so I'm Claudio. How am I going to send this to Mr. Zavala, the teacher? I'm Claudio, the student. I need to send it to Mr. Zavala. So here's what we do. We go to up here on the top right corner, we have two options. Download. This will download the project, and then I can attach it to, if you all use Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology, what's another tool? I don't remember the other ones out there. Depending on what you use, you can download it and then attach it to an assignment. That is one option. The other option is to go to Share. And then in Share, you'll see this menu pop up. Up here at the top where it says Share File, this I would not have your students invite you here. If you are, I think I saw there's some of you teach 10th and 12th. You don't have a self-contained class. You have 30 students times 5 because you have 5 or 6 periods. Well, if you multiply that, you're going to have, 35, 150 notifications for this project, and that's just one project. And if you got 10 projects, you multiply that more, you're going to get notifications. This is only for inviting people to work together on a project. So if you have like your math team or your language RLA team, you're like, hey guys, we're going to work on this project. I'm going to invite you to it so we can work on it together. So this is a collaboration piece right here. And your students can invite each other to collaborate and work on a project. It is live editing. You can do it synchronously and asynchronously. So that is what that's for. What you'll want to do is go to the bottom and right here where it says view only link. And I don't remember who asked the question. Maybe I think it was Amelia possibly, or hopefully I got to asked about how do I create a template. So I'm going to show you that right here. So first off, for your students to share the project to you, you'll have them click create link. And this basically what happens is Adobe Express will prepare this project. It'll compress it and prepare it to live on the web. And basically this is right here. So I'm Claudio. I just created a link. I'm going to copy this link and then I'm going to send it to my teacher through Canvas, through Google Classroom, through Schoology, whatever tool you use. And then here's the assignment, Mr. Zavala. Boom, there you go. And then Mr. Zavala goes to his Schoology, LMS, or whatever, Google Classroom. Oh, look, I see Claudio create a project. I'll click on it, and this is what it looks like from the teacher view. Oh, good job, Claudio. All right, 100%. Boom, nice job. Now, that is how students will share. Now, to answer the question at the start, as a teacher, what if I want my students to make something, but I design it and I want them to use it as a template? So you're going to go right here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to hit share. View only link. Here's the difference. Here's the key. See this little button, allow others to use this. So as a teacher, now I'm Mr. Zavala. I'm going to send it to all my students in period 1. I turn this on and then create link. So it's same steps. The only difference is we're going to slide that on. And it looks like you have a survey here to complete. And then here's the difference. I'm going to, now as Mr. Zavala, I go to Schoology, Canvas, Google Classroom. I create an assignment and hey, period 1, here's your assignment. Click here. And you're going to make your own and then send it back to me. And then the student will click on it and this is what it looks like. It'll look basically the same, but with the one little slight difference. Up there on the top right corner, see this little button that says remix. Then click that, and then basically the student will get a copy of the project in their own account. And that is our getting started with Adobe Express, ladies and gentlemen. We've got about 4 minutes to go, so I've got a couple of things here. I know you all have a survey right there. And let me go ahead and also, I want to share this out, is want to invite you all. Where's my screen? There it is. We have a community of educators. We would like you to join us. We have a section on, we have a Facebook group that I want to invite you to. That's what the address looks like right there. And then we also have a group which we call Adobe Creative Educator Leaders. Hold on, let me fix this here. Let me show you what this looks like. And then the first one, as I mentioned, is the Facebook group. Let me recopy that link. It didn't load correctly. And this is if anybody wants to join our Facebook group. So the Facebook group meets, we'll have meetings and highlights, live streaming and tips. The first link that's working there for you all, let me delete this one right here. Yep. That first one will take you here. This is our Creative Educator Leader Program, and this describes what the program is all about. And then there's special swag that you can receive. And then if you're interested in joining, you can click right here to join the group. You can play this little video and watch it. But when you click right here, it'll take you to a page where you can join the Adobe Creative Educator Leader Program. If you're inclined to join that, would gladly would have you. Would be great to just grow the community. And what this group is, educators like yourselves all across the U.S. that are sharing ideas on how they use creativity in the classroom and how they share their projects and really different ways to inspire students to be creators and just, again, different projects. So don't forget also to complete your survey there. And got like a couple minutes if anybody has any questions. We got 2 minutes to field any questions. See, Elizabeth, I want to share with you. I did this session last year, and this is all I used. Easier than other similar, and the best part is how fast. Oh, well, Elizabeth, that's awesome. So excited. I'm glad you joined us, joined again. You did this session last year. Maybe, hopefully it was a little refresher. There's some new things coming to Adobe Express, actually, that I can share that right here. Let me, some things that I didn't get to talk about, but we're going to have editable templates. We also have, I'm sorry, things that I wasn't able to talk about. You can edit PDFs, translate projects. We have drawing tools, presentations, graphs and charts that you can create. Also coming soon in Adobe Express, let's see, you'll be able to create your own assignments and then send them to your students. So we're going to have a new system within Adobe Express. It's going to be called Classrooms. So you can create your own classrooms within Adobe Express and then send the assignments to your students. So in addition to your Google Classroom or Canvas or Schoology, you'll be able to do it from within Adobe Express too, which is pretty exciting. That's coming soon. Well, I guess we are out of time. So, hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. It was an extreme pleasure to be here. I am doing a generative AI session coming up, I think within oh, it looks like 10 minutes here. So I've got to do a little quick break here, but thank you for joining. We'll see you all. If you decide to join me again, we'll be glad to have you. Otherwise, take care. Have a great school year, everyone.